Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And it is episode 137.
Cool.
Yeah.
I say that every week, but
Cool.
it's very cool.
Uh-huh. We have numbers. Yes, we do. We have numbers. How about you? It is summer, although it doesn't really feel a lot like summer here.
Yeah. It's not hot yet.
Yeah. I have a friend.
It's nice, don't get me wrong.
Oh, for sure. I have a friend who's pregnant that lives down the street, and I was telling her, I was like, as far as being pregnant goes, this is the summer to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, woof, boy, howdy. Did you do lots of exciting things for the 4th of July?
We went to Iowa and hung out at my mom's, and I got bit by no fewer than like 20 chiggers. And
the mosquitoes were really bad here.
been itching like crazy.
Like, really bad. And it made me lament that I didn't find another mutant that doesn't react to mosquitoes. Because I have to see my children with big old welts all over them. And I get bit, but I don't react. So, little known fact about me, or maybe known fact about me, I don't react to mosquito bites. So I don't get like the big welts. And when I tell people from Minnesota that, they say, and you married somebody that does and didn't have like superior mutant children? So I think my youngest Quinn may have inherited the anti-mosquito, because he was outside with the older kids and doesn't have the welts. I know, just talking about it makes me itchy. Sorry. Sorry if we're making you itchy. We didn't do a heck of a lot. I have a story though about fireworks. Did you go see any fireworks?
No.
So this would be like an equivalent to a shenanigans segment. We normally go walk kind of close to here where not far from here would be a better way to say it, and just kind of watch them from afar, because we don't go down to the actual Silver Lake area here in Rochester and see the fireworks. But we decided to walk over to one of the parking ramps, and like we emerged up the elevator, and there was like this whole subculture of people that had driven to the top of the ramps. And like we were welcomed, and people came up, and we have extra chairs if you'd like a chair. And like it was just like woo. And I mean the fireworks were so close, because I mean, you know, we were up. I think the parking ramp was just in 8 floors up, but we were 8 floors up, and I posted a picture on Instagram. I was just right. I mean, it was like at eye level, and we were tall enough that the bugs weren't up there, and it was nice.
My mom claims that it's not worth it unless you're sitting on the lawn within yards of where they're launching them, and then they're like bigger than life above you. So I'm like, okay, we can try to do that soon. You know, next year or the year after, we'll suck it up as adults. You know, make the trek all the way down into the, you know, masses, and see them where you can feel them hit your chest, and you feel like you're gonna fall over with the sound. And have them huge above.
I think we're parking ramp people. I think that we've been welcomed into their subculture, and now that is who we are. We're parking ramp people. No bugs. There was a nice breeze. We were all wearing jackets. Getting back to how cool it's been, and but not the coolest place that I've seen fireworks. Again, kind of tangential. I went in high school up in an airplane and watched fireworks from above. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah. I had a friend whose dad was a pilot and owned a plane, and we went and watched the fireworks over Rosenblatt Stadium in an airplane.
We, the one time I saw them, and I can't say we, it was just me, and when I was out in California, went to San Francisco, and I believe it was the states or the cities, it must have been the cities, like 150 year or 100 year anniversary. So the sesquicentennial, the centennial, one of the two, and it was redonkulous how much they spent on fireworks.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and it was right there on the bay, and I would say that is the best fireworks I've seen. And then second is Disney World.
Yeah, we saw them in Disney World too.
Pretty cool in Disney World. They go all out there too.
All but on the 4th of July, or just
no,
when
just the general ones.
Yep. We saw those, and it was really cool because with all of my children except my last, I got to see fireworks. Ellie's birthday is today, and then Dexter, we went to Disney World, or Disney in Florida. Can never get it right. Disney World in Florida, and we saw them there, and I could feel the baby like kicking around, like, what are you doing out there? It's really loud. But not with Quinn. And that was the first time Quinn had seen fireworks, so he was kind of like, ooh, ah. And then he started doing like really weird things, like, that one's mommy, that one's daddy. And we were kind of like, okay. And, you know, random food and whatever got assigned to fireworks. But it was very fun. Very fun.
Cool.
4th of July funsies.
We, I think that, going down, no matter what town we're in, going down to where the action is going to be the next goal. I never get the gumption up, but the kids are finally old enough that I feel like, you know, keeping them up to the time when they're dark and that won't be a big problem.
Yeah. So that is a lot of, sorry, there's a bug. That is a lot of shenanigans that we just talked about.
Sure was. There wasn't much
there is
going on.
There's not a lot of administrating. I got a lot of knitting done, and you were mentioning that you got a lot of spinning done. We have a summer. No, we don't. That was
fingering
weight KAL going on, which is basically you can choose your pattern as long as it's fingering, and the number of entries corresponds to the number of skeins, and the pattern has to be written for fingering weight, and go. So we've had some great discussion out on the boards already, which I have enjoyed. Probably a little bit of enabling and cheerleading as well. And I've got my first skein of fingering weight knit up, and then another skein that I started prior to the KAL that has been knit up. But I've been doing nothing but fingering, really. I have one. I have one non-fingering weight project. Do I have to put weight in at the end of it?
Maybe.
So that you don't turn into a 12-year-old boy. Do you have any FOs?
No.
No FOs. All right. I finished 2 of my designs. I'm going to put it out there that I'm sorry that it's been me-centric. This podcast is about what we knit and what we're excited about, and that's currently what I'm knitting and excited about, so I apologize if it's self-promotional, but 2 designs that I've been working on. So this is they have names now, what I'm calling the literally over the top, because you literally knit it up and over the top. Looks super darling on my daughter. Really love how the Lorna's Laces Soulmate knit up in the pattern. I really like the way that it shows off the lace, and she looks adorbs in it. She wore it as a swimsuit cover up on Sunday before it started to rain. I don't know if I have a lot more to say about it other than it has a name, and I finished it in time for her to get it for her birthday, well in time, and she loves it. And cool. Yeah. So there's that.
I might have to knit up some blue.
Yeah, because Lucy wanted blue, right?
Yeah.
And then after I got done with that, I cast on. I had some Dream in Colors Smushy in the No Seams colorway, which was part of the Lorna, the Camp Loopy.
I might have that color.
Yes. It's very Monet-esque. people commented, and it matched the bag that your mom made me perfectly, and I didn't even realize that I was like, oh, look at that. I went to take the picture because I always try to include the bag in the picture, not only to block out any of the like periphery
background
junk that has nothing to do with the knitting and the wonderfulness that's going on. But this is the cool clavicle cover, which is my shawl design that I have out to test knitters. And it's just a really lightweight, I've mentioned it because I've knit another one before, but this one is much bigger. Same number of yards. It's just a multi-ply of that versus a single ply.
Oh, okay.
In the same number of grams, but much bigger wingspan on it, and use the same amount of yardage. What was I going to say about it? Oh, yeah, it's just a really cool, like, you know, I don't know if I'll hold it up, and I don't know if you'll be able to see me through it, but it's a very light layer, meant to just basically, you know, drape over your shoulders and cut maybe some AC or a nighttime breeze. It's got some slip stitches, which the highly variegated really works out well. So if you've got a skein that you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to knit with this? It's so variegated and so, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I struggle with skeins like that. They appeal to me in the skein, and then when I go to put them in a project, I'm like, it's going to mask the pattern of the project. But no, this really likes it. It really, the differences in the places where the variegation makes it much different in that place really highlights it. And I can't say enough good things about this Dream in Color Smushy with cashmere. It's got 20% cashmere and it's super soft, super nice and light.
Yeah,
you probably.
And with the drape that you gave it.
And I didn't block the, you know, the living daylights out of it. I did try to make it longer, but I didn't make it deeper. So it could have been stretched quite a bit more deeper, especially down here on the border edges.
I can see that.
Yeah, so, but I'm not a real deep shawl person. I like my shawls shallow.
Superficial
and shallow. But yeah, I like it. Ta-done. One skein of fingering. And yeah, so that's out to test knitters, and it should be out there eventually, just not quite yet, which is the story of my life right now. Not quite yet. Getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. And those are my FOs.
All right. So I did a bunch of knitting in the car on the way to and from Iowa, and so I got things done, but not what I thought I would. So, and then the very next day was the start of Tour de Fleece. So right now I am at the point where I can bind off the armholes and start knitting the straps for this tank. Since that's so close, I think that that's probably the one that will get worked on. But
amongst all the spinning.
And then everything else kind of took a back seat. The only other thing that I kind of got done because it was easy enough was this sock got a turn and a little bit of knitting on it, and then that will hello.
He's just stretching out.
Stretchy toes.
Yep.
So then the last thing that I worked on, so you notice that the gamut one, no work been done on it. I did not find my fourth ball yet, but I have a feeling that having weighed everything that I might not need it. And then hopefully wherever it ended up, it found a good home.
So you don't think it's in any project bags or in your stash somewhere?
And unless Jeanette, Sun Valley Fibers, has it rolling around in her stuff because it ended up in her booth at that's the only time I took it out, was to show it with the gray that I was buying, and then I shoved everything back in my bag, and I thought that everything went back in my bag, but if it didn't, then that's where it would be. Otherwise, it just tumbled out while we were walking the venue, which, yeah, there's no getting that back.
No. Somebody might be a newfound lover of Another Crafty Girl, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't opaque, so it'd be mystery yarn to them. They'd be like, I wonder what this is.
You didn't have like the label or anything in it?
No, you do that. I don't do that.
Sorry, there's a mosquito flying around. Did you get it?
I don't know. Nope. Well, that might just be its wing.
I'm just looking out for you. It won't bother me any. But.
That's true. It could bite her. But yeah, this Woolmaza is growing, and it's very exciting. It's looking very cute. I think
the pattern's very pretty.
Yeah, it's got the circles,
very lacy.
So when I'm about halfway through the ball, and so now I'm at the point where I might find the center pull and do the arms real quick. I don't think it'll be that much grams, because I believe it's just like a put the border on and be done kind of sleeve, and then I'll continue on working on the bottom. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to make it as long as I would like. Hopefully it's not just a bolero or whatever.
Yeah, well, Woolmize has very generous balls.
Yes, they do. And like I said, this seems like half. I haven't weighed it. It might be more than half. And if it's more than half, I think that that'll make a good size, you know, considering how much fabric is already here, and we're getting to the lacy bits. But definitely scared enough that I want to make sure that the sleeves get finished off, and then I'll finish the rest of the garment. But again, I think I want to get through another pattern repeat before I do that.
Yeah.
Just for funsies, because I'm in the middle of a repeat, and
I'm loving the lace lately.
Yeah, me too. It's fun to work on. This one's a bit complex, but intuitive. It's just that there's a couple wrong side maneuvers, so they're not expected. So if you're going along and you turn and you just said, oh, I gotta knit the knits and purl the pearls, and you're like, crap, this was the row where I was supposed to do something special. There's two of those. So but again, intuitive, so if you think about where you are before you turn the work, you'll be like, this is the part where I have to do something. But there was at least, you know, first part of a row where I forgot what I was doing and continued on. But I thought that I would, I thought that I would show some of my spinning. I only brought the one spindle, but this is my Threads Through Time spindle, Turkish spindle. It's 1.3 ounces, and I have some Belighted roll logs. So this is Stacy. She's local to us, and I am finally on the last color. So it went blue to black to green. Here, I'll show the bottom. The bottom shows you that. And
those turtles are always so cute.
Yeah.
And you keep your turtles so tidy.
I try. The spinning was not as much tonight because I'm here recording with you. And I don't get to do it until the kids are in bed. So I did a little bit of this one. I moved from the black to the green and got this much green on it, and then went, well, I guess that's all I'm going to get done for today. And tomorrow I should probably be going gangbusters because the kids are headed to Grandma's house. My sister-in-law is coming to town, so they're going to be at Grandma's house and then greeting Aunt Sarah at the airport. And then we will head down later in the new car.
Yay! Yeah, you didn't mention that in shenanigans.
Well, I had a lot of, you asked me about 4th of July specifically, and then we got on fireworks.
Yes.
And yeah, we finally traded in our 12-year-old Jetta, and I got another Volkswagen. We upgraded a little bit in size, so we're now in the Passat, not the Jetta, so it's more of a family vehicle. When I bought the Jetta, I didn't have a family.
Yeah.
Didn't have a husband either. So
Did you know your husband at that
Oh,
point?
yeah.
Yeah. I forgot how long you guys dated.
Yeah, 4+ years.
Okay.
And this is our 10th anniversary this year, so...
I'm aware. I'm aware that it is our 10th anniversary.
It's our 10th anniversary. Yeah, we were thinking about going to New York City. So New York City people, if you want to hit me up, just, say, hey, yeah, you're coming to town. Awesome. Dates aren't nailed down yet, but hopefully soon.
Rhinebeck adjacent.
Yes, Rhinebeck adjacent. That, I mean, I get, yeah, exactly. I don't want to jinx it. That's why I didn't say, but
yeah.
We have not booked anything yet.
No, but we're eyeballing it.
Yes, we're very, very close to eyeballing it. And the hubsters will be along with us, so there will be much beer consumed and lots of traveling to the area in general and not just the knitting stuff.
Yep. Although that will be one day.
Yes,
be an
for
excursion.
Sure. Yes. A one-day excursion.
Again, knock on wood. Fingers crossed. Everything continues to stay the way it is. But yeah, I'm excited. My brother lives in New York City, so it'd be fun to be able to visit him and get a mental picture of where he lives. And
yes, I will just say that immediately I haven't been since 2005. It's been a while. And there's a lot of new things I would love to see.
Never been. I'm sure it will be eye-opening.
The city.
Yeah. Well,
Chicago?
Yeah. My brother posted a picture on Instagram where there was like clowns, a traffic light with a bunch of pigeons on it, a wedding party, and something else. Like, I don't know if it was like somebody playing music, and he was like, New York City, where everything happens all the time at the same time. And I was like, that's probably, most cities, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be New York City, but we went from car to Rhinebeck, just mentally to track you back.
Our big star sighting from that trip in 2005 was Carson from Queer Eye for the straight guy.
The zhuzher.
The zhuzher.
He loves that zhuzhing.
He was in workout gear coming in or out of a crunch studio, I think, or something. Exercisey looking. I don't remember.
And I bet he was still looking fabulous.
No, he looked great.
No, he didn't?
He looked... No. He looked great.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like... We were just being all cool about it, and then like half a block later, it's like, that was that guy from that show, right? I'm like, I think so.
Yeah.
And then, so we both thought the same thing when we saw him, and we didn't do anything about it. And then confirmed with each other that that's who we saw.
Fun.
And then I was also following somebody during the Pride Parade, speaking of New York, and I thought that was fun. Like, they were posting Instagram pictures and I was following along. Well, that's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Is that all the works in progress that are fit to be had?
Yeah, like I said, things slowed down. I mean, the car ride helped because I at least got something to show you, but no finished objects, which is what would have happened if the Tour de Fleece wasn't going on. I'm guessing that I have spun 7 ounces so far. Cool. And this is day 5. And a lot of those happened in the first 4 days. But I did do something today. It's all spindles. No, I did something on the wheel too. It's just hard it wasn't appreciable, right? Like, I could have taken a picture of it and posted it, but I don't think that it was enough to somebody be like, oh yeah, you made progress. Because it all...
Like no color change and no noticeable differentiation in...
Yeah, I mean, you might have noticed color, but it wouldn't have looked any bigger, maybe. I don't know. It didn't seem like it was worth it to me, but I figured since my spindle had gotten a new color, that was worth mentioning. And I have a goal for Tour de Fleece. If I reach my goal, which is 4 bumps totaling 18 ounces, is that right? Yeah, 4 bumps totaling 18 ounces and not all of my poonies, but a certain subset of poonies that I've set aside, and I will get myself my first Bosworth spindle.
I don't know what that is.
It's, you know, like Threads Through Time. There's another company, and
is it Turkish or?
No, it's a drop spindle. Susan Claudino posts a lot of Bosworth pictures. So
No Knit Sherlock.
Yes, No Knit Sherlock. If you're out on Instagram and follow her, she has a lot of Bosworths. And it's probably where I got inspired to get one of those as my goal. And I could probably just get one, but it's good to have goal.
Yeah.
And actually, these are all I have left of my Puni goals. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. It is on the 9th, right? Do you have the whole month of July or just during the Tour de France?
Tour de France.
Tour de France.
That's all I have.
Okay.
How many days is that total? Ask her husband, he would know.
I made the mistake of saying Tour de Fleece today instead of Tour de France to somebody at work, and they were like, and I was like, it's actually a thing. And it's not like laugh worthy. What's a fleece? And I was like, oh boy, you poor muggle. poor muggle. You don't even know what a fleece is?
Come on, fleece was white as snow. Come on.
Black. Yeah. There's no fleece in that song.
No, Mary had a little lamb. Fleece is white as snow.
Got it.
Everywhere that Mary went.
I don't think I made any appreciable progress on, kind of like you were talking about your spinning on these. Did I? Maybe I did. I got into the darker color. Still not to where I can do anything with them.
So you've started the second repeat.
Of the darker.
Yep.
So it gradiated. And this is the Fishnets Zombie 10. She was going to have some available, and then it all sold out really quickly. I think we were pretty good enablers at the retreat. Like, this is awesome stuff. And we've been talking about it on the podcast too. But there's that. Matches the bag again. Don't do it on purpose, I swear. I just grab the cute ones. And maybe my mind. I've noticed that about my pajamas too. Like I'll grab a shirt, and then I'll grab a pair of shorts. Like I don't necessarily have matching sets, although we do have some matching sets ordered. And they have sheepies on them from Walmart. And then they'll just match. This, you may call me crazy. And
you're crazy.
I think it may well be that I'm crazy. I've wanted to knit the ethereal. They spell it wrong. So if you Google it, it's with an I instead of that second or third E in ethereal.
Oh yeah.
Tank. And I grabbed a really bright skein of Tempted from her yarn club in the, if I can find it, Tempted Heavenly Girl, 950 yards of lace weight, which is what the pattern calls for. I think it's just 100% superwash merino. Very bright. The colorway is Lady Luck. And I think it was for a shawl design. And I didn't swatch, but I cast on, and you get to working, and you're like, this just seems way too big. And so I was getting nowhere near gauge, which when you don't gauge swatch, you just have to you just have to lean into it. So I ripped it all out, and I recast on with, it calls for 3s, the pattern does, and I recast on with 2s. And I still didn't get gauge. And then now I'm down to 1s with the lace weight. And it's bottom up. So I guess I'm kind of, what would you call it? A martyr? No, not a martyr. A masochist. I'm a masochist. And it still looks really large to me. Not like insanely large, but like...
And there's no sizes in here?
There is.
Oh, but
so I'm doing the smallest size, which is smaller than the size I would normally do. So the chest is 32 for the smallest size. Zero idea how they're getting gauge. Like some people are out there knitting this on zeros.
Okay.
But I really like the lace. It's a true lace, so there are no rest rows. So that's fun. It's kind of striping. I decided that if it does get too big, I know a certain person named Corey that really likes these colors, so she might might wear it. And it's stripes, yep, kind of Noro-esque in what it's doing. But I made a few modifications. So the pattern calls for to just, once you get past this bottom area, which says to aggressively block it as well, which kind of scares me.
Maybe a block it lengthwise.
Yes, I'm definitely going to be blocking it lengthwise like this. Very, very pretty though. And you're supposed to just do these traveling side stitches up the side in the lace pattern. Well, I decided I liked the lace pattern too much, so I'm doing a full lace back. But then to finish it off, you decrease, like you don't bind off stitches for the armholes. And so I put in a little number of stitches here that are going to get decreased later away, panel up the side. So I basically flipped it. Like on the front, you have the solid panel with the lace on the sides, and on the back, you have the lace with just a little bit of a solid panel on the side that's going to eventually get decreased away. And I could change my mind and make that the front as well, because I think they're worked the same.
Okay.
But we'll see. It's been fun. It's been my guilty knitting. Like I'll grab it and be like, oh, I get to do a few rows of lace, and I'm really enjoying it. And this has got my Megan Zombie green from Annie Light, the stitch marker little skein. And there's that. And that's not fingering weight. Right. And I coordinated the bag as well.
You did.
I swear I don't do it on purpose. Oh, grab the pattern so that if I get working on it later and I'm like, what's going on? And then I did cast on for our fingering KAL. I've got my 2 skeins of Kaleidoscope in the Fiber Nymph MCN.
I was going to say, before anybody asks, I did not knit my sweater.
Oh, this one. Yeah, I could see the tag in the back. And yeah, the Hito Fude is a must knit. I'll lead with that. Like, in my opinion, you must knit it. It's a very fun,
telling me something,
intuitive pattern. It fits and looks nice on a lot of people. I'm just doing 2 skeins of fingering. And I had a few requests to talk about my modifications. I'm going to do, as I did the first time, instead of doing a crochet cast on, I just Judy's Magic cast on to another needle, with another needle. And going to do that versus, she has it written up to do the chain cast on, and then you do it in 2 pieces. And then you pick up across one and then the other, and I don't understand why. It works with the Judy's Magic cast on to just do the total number. It might have to do with undoing the chain and from what direction, I don't know. I haven't done it the other way, so I haven't figured out the logic of why it needs to be done into 2 pieces. But with the Judy's Magic cast on, you don't need to. I am alternating skeins. I really like the way that the alternating skeins is showing up. It's that's going to be really funny if you can't see anything, and I was leaning over that far. But you can definitely see if you really take a look, like, oh, that was the lighter yarn, and oh, that's the darker yarn. But when you just look at it, you get kind of a jewel toned. I think it looks really good with the variegated. Yep, it's another stitch pattern that's like, I'll take your variegated, I'll make it look nice. And I'm alternating the skeins on the wrong side right before you get to the side ribbing. And I would recommend that for any pattern, because there's a pretty side on this that you're doing some slip stitches and it makes it real pretty. So if you were trying to do your yarn skein yarn skein swap at the edge, you would catch funny yarn and you would see it. But on the wrong side, right next to where a purl is going to go to a knit, if you just take that working yarn and go over the top of the one that you're going to swap in and bring that one to the back of the work to do you just purled and it's in the front, you pull it across, you take the one that you're going to swap in and bring it to the back, so you're going to knit, it just hides right there. You don't hardly see it. I mean, I can see it because I'm looking at it now, that the knit stitch looks like it's got an extra right side leg. But it's pretty seamless, and that was where I did the swapping on these tanks too. right near the ribbing edge, right where a knit and a purl. And then you don't have to mess with it on the edge. It's just on the inside, and it's also it's a value add in my opinion, because I know if you've ever picked up a work where you've got two yarns working and you're like, was I on the right side or the wrong side? Because you have to remember whether you're switching on the right side or the wrong side, because you've got a yarn on each side. This one makes it really easy because it's hanging out back here in the middle of the work. So it's not like, oh, I'll pick it up here and start working. No, it's a couple stitches in, right? 6. So I've got 4 repeats, and I just cast it on last night. I've got the lace memorized. The only other modification I'm going to make that I didn't make on the previous one is the designer put out the original pattern and didn't have, see how on these the V's go right up to each other? In the bottom half, the lace, the way she has the increases written, you just start getting more stockinette in between these repeats like this. And I actually like the visual effect of them meeting up. And so the designer actually has another project page where she put a chart of the lace for that part of the body where they do meet up. And so I'll put a link on that to my project page, and you can use that chart on the bottom half if you care to.
Okay.
It's good to know that it's out there. And I think that I've said more than enough about this project. Looking forward to being able to do that lacy part, but enjoying it nonetheless.
Awesome.
Yes, it's a very fun, like I said, must knit. I very rarely knit garments that aren't my own designs that I'm kind of test knitting for myself multiple times.
Right.
There was a sigh there. Amy's like, you're going to try to talk me into knitting this thing, aren't you?
I've already got a lot on the needle.
I know. I'm just saying eventually you should. It's a nice open front cardigan that looks good.
Okay.
Looks classy.
I will keep it classy. I will find out if I have enough.
I think it would look really pretty in like a hand spun too.
Okay.
Like if you had enough 2 fingering weight skeins that were pretty close to each other.
Don't know if I have that.
And that's my works in progress. I am uber lame and do not have any purchases, although the knit picks, the Lindy chain got ordered and has not arrived. It kind of lined up with the winner contacted me right before the holiday, and so it lined up with the holiday, and it hasn't gotten here yet, but I'm excited about that. And your mom, you saw her donated, I'm looking over and I see some bags that are going to be a prize for our fingering weight.
Yes.
KL.
So got a larger,
I love the sheepies.
And then a little pouch to go with it. And so that will be a prize.
Is the bottom half there the interior? I forget.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Coordinates on the inside and
yeah.
Very cute.
And then I am trying out a prototype bag for my mom. And it's got a clear pouch in the front. You can see my tape measure and my pattern are in there. And then it's just a medium bag otherwise. So this is her medium, this is the large, and yeah. So I told her it might need to be a smidge deeper, just to be holding the paper in a little bit better. But otherwise, it is reminding me which project is in this bag, and seems to be working. I can read my pattern just fine, and it stays nice and it doesn't get crumpled in the bag like when I normally just put it in the bag. It gets a little crumpled, but now it's flat and staying nice. And then another thing that I've been trying out, and I don't know that she plans on selling these, is that she made a little holder for herself, and she a little snap, and she put it on her jeans belt loop holder, and was wearing her phone like that all weekend. And I was like, hey Mom, that's kind of cool, you want to make me one too? And so she made me one. that fits my phone with its case. She made hers that it fits so tightly without a case that it will not move. And we have the same phone. So mine has little rubber grippies on it, and so it needed to be a little bit looser so I could take it in and out. And then I have been using it as a way to attach it to my purses that are older and don't have the appropriate smartphone size pocket in them. Because, back when flip phones that were about the size, of an ink cartridge were popular, that's when this purse was purchased, and it doesn't quite fit my giant modern day cell phone. So I thought that was kind of a clever doodad, so I could just keep it near the top of the purse and still, have access to my phone without it getting lost in the bottom. But also, if you're walking around and you want your phone with you, but you don't want to hold it, I thought that was another couple ways.
I had one of those. I had one of those for one of those cartridge-sized flip phones.
Oh, okay.
That I hooked onto the outside of my purse. I think I got it at our bachelorette party up in the Twin Cities.
So if you like the idea, Etsy combo her and let her know that you thought that was really clever. And
that you want one.
Yeah, that you want one. Or same with this prototype with the clear pouch in the front. It is only, to me, it's only good for the paperwork and the, I put the tape measure in there. I don't know that I would put little fiddly things like a stitch marker in there. I think that might slide out.
Do you think you could put your phone in there?
Yeah, I did that.
See, like notifications and
Yes, I did do that. So I mean, it makes the opening just a little bit wider, but it's not falling out. I mean, it's in there.
Yeah, like it, love it, want one.
Cool. So that was that, and that's what happens when I go to my mom's house. It's like, ooh, here, I'm gonna try this.
She comes back with bags for herself and for you. And that's all she wrote. I don't have anything more to speak of.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Uta.